morning. Hey, I gotta go. Welcome to the June 3rd, 2025 meeting of the Bexar County Board of Education. It is 6 p.m. and the meeting is now called to order. It's good to see you all here. Hope that our students and our staff are getting a little break now, but there's still a lot of good business that we need to conduct here. So we'll move on with our agenda, and Ms. Bradford will have the invocation followed by the pledge.
Please bow your heads in prayer. Dear Father, thank you for bringing us here together tonight. Please let us, the students, their family, the staff, let us all have a wonderful, peaceful, and restorative summer. Tonight we have a lot of decisions to make. Please help our board make good, heartfelt, wise decisions. And please let our community continue to contribute for each other to the safety and well-being of our children, as that is the most important thing. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Could I have a motion to approve our May 27th, 2025 work session and the May 6th, 2025 board meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Thank you. Okay, could I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
So move.
Second. Second was Ms. Lee. Thank you. All in favor? All right, and then we have a list of consent items that have already been discussed. Could I have a motion to approve our consent agenda?
So moved.
Second. Mr. Callaway, Dr. Carey, thank you. All in favor? Thank you. This time we'll move on to superintendent recognitions.
Good evening, board members. I'm going to welcome Dr. Al Darby to the podium to conduct our spring sports recognitions.
Thank you, Dr. LaDuff, and good evening to our board members. What an honor and privilege it is to be here tonight to recognize our spring sports accolades, and I often call them our student athletes that excel on the field, on the court, on the track, obviously in the classroom as well. First, I'll call up, we have two coaches here that will recognize some of their successes in spring sports. Coach Miller with track at Appalachia, if you'll step forward, please.
I'd like to recognize our region champions in the track and field this year from Appalachia. Gracie Sykes was the region champion in the discus. She's here. Addison Willer was the region champion in the pole vault. And our 4x200 girls team consisting of Natasha Johnson, Sabrina Brooks, Cassidy Jordan, and Tion Newton were the region champions for this year.
Everybody? Okay. If Coach Kyle Bailey will step to the podium, our baseball coach at Appalachia High School.
Guys, we had a handful of our players who were recognized this year as all-region athletes for our baseball team. Two of those players were able to be here today. So our two that are not here is Ryan Bowers, who is honorable mention all-region as a catcher. And then first-team catcher was J.J. Gonzalez, who is committed to play at Point University this next year after graduating. And then our two first-team members who are here this evening is first-team outfielder Carter Hill and first-team first team pitcher is Adrian Palacios.
I have one more. I have the privilege of recognizing this gentleman. Miss Rayberg is at a prior engagement. Coach Neely is also at a prior engagement, so that busy time of year for our administrators. And so I'd like to recognize a soccer coach for our female sport at Appalachia High School, Coach Amid Bazadi. He has been recognized this year as the Region Coach of the Year for girls soccer. So congratulations, Coach. While they're taking pictures, he's an anchor in our staff at Appalachia High School. He was a significant part at Chi East during our time there, leading our teachers to that facility and welcoming students in there. Just a person you'd want to be representing your kid and having their best interest at heart. So thank you, Coach, for all you do. Now we'll transition to BASA. Principal Threlkill, if you will step forward, please. He has a few recognitions.
Thank you for having us tonight. I'm the Tommy Threlkill, the proud principal of the Bear Arts and Sciences Academy. And we do have a number of recognitions tonight. We want to congratulate our track program for having a very successful first season over at BASA. We'd like to thank our coaching staff, Coach Roper and his leadership with that staff. I know we have a number of athletes who are unable to join us tonight, but if I call your name, if you are present, if you'll please step up. The first one is Alex Everett. He's the region champion in both the 1,600 and 3,200 meter. We also want to congratulate our girls 4x800 meter relay team comprised of Emma Busby, Maya Tews, Devin Howard, and Yuretsi Vega. And then finally our boys 4x800 meter relay team. Again, Alex Everett, Reed Nalder, Mike Stubbs, and Jack Roberts. They captured the region championship in that event as well. So again, guys, we are super proud of all of our athletes and our coaches at BASA as well as throughout the district, and I thank you for your time. Thank you.
As you can tell, it's that time of year that it's really busy for our student athletes, their families. It's hard to make sometimes our June meeting, so thank you, Mr. Threlkill, for being here. I'll ask Coach Noblet from Winterboro High School if you'll step forward, please.
Good evening. It's always a pleasure to get to recognize some of these outstanding student athletes. Up first, we have Miss Layla Peacock. She's recognized as first team all-region in girls tennis. Let's give Layla a big round of applause. Next, we have a couple of baseball players we're going to recognize. To begin with, this young man was named the Region 8 5A Player of the Year in baseball. He played catcher, outfield, and pitch. Camden Hodge. Next, we have a senior who's actually in the Bahamas on a senior trip right now, so he wasn't able to make it. But Walker Watwood was the Region 8 5A Pitcher of the Year. Next, we'd like to recognize Landon DeBose for being recognized as first team all-region for 8-5A in baseball and as an infielder. And last but not least, William Waits is being recognized first team all-region as an outfielder in 8-5A. Thank you for your time.
Also, this time, we get the opportunity to recognize some of our middle school athletic teams. We have Russell Middle School. We have Coach Carlos Tejada here, along with Coach Ashley Drake. If you guys will step forward to recognize your team, please. I'll let them tell you the exciting news of what their success was this spring. And remember, if I'm not mistaken, this is our first year for middle school soccer to be implemented at all 4 of our middle schools, so we're excited about that and their success. Yes, sir.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Coach Tejada, and this is Coach Drake with me. Thank you guys for having us here. Thank you for taking the time to recognize our student athletes. Like I said, or like was just mentioned, our girls over there, they're the Region X Pac-10 champions, so they did really hard work this season. It's our first season having a girls soccer team just period at Russell, and especially for Bexar County, like was just mentioned. So it was really awesome to work with these girls and really create that winning environment and culture in our school. We also have a little shirt for Dr. LaDuff here. Russell Soccer. There you go. We got all the girls, yeah. And we got all the girls to sign it. They were excited. They were really excited to see him on our championship game. They said, "Oh my gosh, Dr. LaDuff is here." So it was exciting for them to have that too. So we're going to take some time and I'm going to mention each student's name. If they're not here, we'll just cheer them on from wherever they are. Eva Soto, Brianna Murphy, Ureli Alvarado Lopez. Yeah, come on over. You're good. Brianna Lozano, Peyton Guzman, Cece Vieira, Caitlin Nambo, Angelina Ariane, Gabby Guzman, Stella Calloway, Valentina Canelas. Sorry, I'm going a little fast. We'll slow down. Yeah, my bad. You want to? I can help her. Because I don't think they're in alphabetical order. Cece's name. All right, Valentina. Caitlin Gripe, Alondra Escobar, Chastity Hickson, Gisele Luna, Aubrey Diedorf, Cynthia Rodriguez, and Jordan Adeyeye.
Thank you for the shirt, ladies. It's quite a treat. I'll make sure it gets put to good use. Board members, that concludes the recognitions tonight.
Madam Chair, if I could just add one more recognition for the group, and so thank you, Dr. LaDuff. As you've all seen, thank you. As you've all seen this week, one of the recognitions that I really wanted to make for the board is the Georgia Sheriff's Association of naming our Sheriff Judd Smith as Sheriff of the Year. And so I certainly think it's important to recognize him for that this evening. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Carey, for adding that. We do appreciate our sheriff. At this time, we'll move on to presentations and discussions and start with Dr. Bowen, Support Services. What, excuse me. Sorry. Back up. Bold Spotlight this month, it is Arts and Innovation Magnet with Alex Holman. Getting ahead of myself.
Good evening. On behalf of the AIM program, I would like to thank the board and Dr. LeDuff for allowing the Arts and Innovation Magnet program the opportunity to share some of the exciting things happening at CFIT. I'm Alex Holman. I'm the principal for the AIM program. Before we begin telling you about the wonderful things happening in the AIM program, I would like to report that the AIM attendance is high, discipline referrals are low, and academic performance exceeds district averages in math and reading. In short, the AIM community is thriving. And we are a community, unlike any that I have been involved with during my career as an educator. Our community is driven by caring and innovative educators, and some of them are here with us tonight. Our community includes students and families who embrace our vision and engage in the learning process. Our community also includes our businesses and community partners whose relationships support our goals in numerous ways. Together, we've created a unique learning environment focused on engaging students in the learning process. We'd like to begin by answering a question we hear often. What is AIM? Some people use the terms AIM and CFIT interchangeably, but they are not the same. CFIT stands for the Center for Innovative Teaching, and it's just that. It's a building. It's not just any building. It's a dynamic space we've transformed into a collection of unique, engaging learning environments. AIM, on the other hand, stands for the Arts and Innovation Magnet Program. AIM is not a building, it's a community, a vibrant, creative, and student-centered learning community made up of 292 6th through 8th grade students from all 4 Barrow County middle schools. Our students are selected through a lottery process and come together each day to experience education in a different way. AIM is different, and at times there are challenges. We must transform obstacles into opportunities. Here's what makes AIM different. We have dual enrollment. Our students are enrolled in a home middle school and in the AIM program. We have a condensed school day. Our doors open at 9:15 and the students' day begins at 9:30. We dismiss at 3:30. Our teachers plan in the morning before the students get there from 8 to 9:15 because once students arrive, instruction is continuous and intentional. We have unique learning spaces. We have a black box theater, a dance studio, art studios, culinary kitchen, a journalism studio, and a makerspace that support hands-on and creative learning. We use a rotating class schedule. The 4 core content classes rotate each day so that the students have each class at a different time during the day. Believe it or not, we implemented this because students behave differently at different times of the day. It also helps those students who tend to be late every morning. They are not missing the same class every morning when they come in 5 to 10 minutes late. We do address that, by the way, but it happens. This model boosts engagement, supports attendance, and reduces behavior issues. We have our individualized success time, which is built into our schedule and allows us to target interventions towards students and provide enrichment opportunities. At CFIT or in the AIM program, we do not have direct bus routes. So our students ride the bus to their home school, they catch a shuttle, and they come to CFIT. And in the afternoons, it's in reverse. If you're a car rider, you can come right to CFIT every day. We do not have connections or specialist teachers. Our AIM content teachers teach both their core content subjects and rotating mini academies. Students rotate through 12 academies every 3 weeks, and every teacher teaches every student. This structure fosters a tight-knit, supportive community where all teachers and students get to know each other. We don't have a working cafeteria. Sounds like we have a lot of don'ts, but those are obstacles that we transform. We partner with Russell, and they provide breakfast and lunch meals that are delivered to us each day. We utilize the CFIT kitchen and cafeteria for our culinary mini academy and as a larger space for instruction. We don't have a library, but we're right next door to the public library. Our students all have library cards, and we take them to the public library every 2 weeks, and they learn to use the community resource effectively. We don't offer sports at AIM, but our students are dual enrolled, so they can compete in athletics through their home schools. What we do offer and what we do expect, we have high expectations for our students in attendance, behavior, and in academic performance. Attendance matters. Every absence is a missed opportunity, not only for the student, but for also someone on our waiting list. We communicate this clearly during information sessions and again during orientation. Parents sign the AIM attendance protocol, and we require a meeting after 5 absences. As a result, our 2024-2025 attendance rate is 95%. We also have high expectations for behavior that center around our core values of accountability, integrity, and motivation. We celebrate positive behavior. We have a positive student support team, and that's PSS. It's a group of students from each homeroom who help guide reward systems and celebrations. We have monthly PBIS celebrations based on points earned. We had a 93.7 participation rate in our celebrations this year. We celebrate our Archers of the Month and our Artists of the Month. And then we have Flamingo Fridays, which I'm not going to attempt to explain here. But to keep it short, the students earn tokens to use in our book vending machine. To date, we've given away over 600 books, building home libraries and a love for reading. Academic performance, really we're looking for students who participate and collaborate. If they can do those two things, they can be successful in our program. We may not host athletics teams or have sports, but we do have a thriving club culture. We have band and chorus that meet in the mornings, and those clubs are led by Bassett teachers. Ms. Schreibman is the band teacher, and Ms. Mitchell is our chorus teacher. They spend their first block of the day at CFIT with our AIM students. They're building their own feeder program. We currently have over 50 students in band and approximately 30 in chorus. Our other clubs include Junior Beta, our Helen Ruffin Reading Bowl team, our robotics team, textile club, yearbook, future teachers club, clarion club, running club, board game club, and coming in 25-26, we have a theater technology club, and it's going to support our first full musical production, Shrek.
All right.
We strongly believe in celebrating our students' success. Here are just a few highlights. Our Helen Ruffin Reading Bowl team placed second in the district and third in the region. We had 12 students placed at this regional social studies fair. For the third year in a row, an AIM student won the district holiday greeting card artwork contest. And for the second year, an AIM student wrote the winning inside message. We had 22 projects advanced to the district student technology competition, with 7 placing first and advancing to state. 4 of the 8 BCSS students placing at the state level were from AIM, including 1 state champion and 3 third-place finishes. An AIM student was a runner-up in the district spelling bee. We had our first student selected to participate in the GMEA District 14 Honor Band, and 6 AIM students were selected for the GMEA District 14 First-Year Honor Band. An AIM student was the District Young Georgia Author for 7th grade. We're also proud of our staff and community partnerships. Mr. James Kelly, one of our teachers, was one of only 3 teachers statewide to receive the GAETC Rising Star Educator Award. He presented 2 sessions at the GAETC conference titled Project-Based Assessments to Improve Student Success. Ms. April Ballinger presented at both the Georgia Council for Social Studies Conference and Kennesaw State University. And then we had 4 AIM teachers, Ms. Payne, Ms. Wood, Mr. Kelly, and Ms. Ballinger received Jackson EMC Bright Ideas grants. We partnered with the City of Winder to paint custom cornhole boards for them, to host booths at the Winder Spooktacular, and represent BCSS at Touch a Truck during Georgia Cities Week. AIM staff and students also demonstrated their commitment to service through hosting a Veterans Day breakfast, raising funds and participating in Relay for Life, packaging foods for New Path, and collecting approximately 3,000 food items during the district Super Bowl food drive. We're extremely proud of the accomplishments of AIM students and staff both in and out of the classroom. At AIM, we foster a collaborative environment that promotes active participation and meaningful engagement. Our instructional approach blends critical and creative thinking by integrating various artistic disciplines and innovative methodologies. We emphasize interdisciplinary instruction, experiential learning, and literacy through writing. Each of these will be discussed in a few minutes. Before we continue, are there any questions? Now I would like to introduce the hardest working receptionist / bookkeeper / school nurse in the district, Ms. Deanna Sauls.
Thank you. It's an honor to stand before you today and share what makes our school not just special but extraordinary. At the heart of Arts and Innovation Magnet program is creativity, not just in what we teach, but how we work together to meet the needs of our students. We are a small staff with a big mission, and we wear many hats to accomplish it. My title may be receptionist, but in a single day, I might be the bookkeeper, the attendance clerk, and yes, even the school nurse. And I'm not alone in that. Each member of our team steps outside their boundaries of their job description to ensure that no student falls through the cracks. Whether it's a teacher helping to set up with a tech problem, or an administrator covering lunch duty, or support staff stepping in to help a student that's had a tough day, we all pitch in. We are united by a common goal, and that's to nurture every student's potential through both artistic expression and innovative thinking. That means that we meet the students where they're at academically, emotionally, and creatively, and we all work together to help them grow. This isn't a job for us, it's a calling, and our collaboration, flexibility, and shared commitment are what keep this program thriving. So thank you, board members, thank you, staff members, thank you, parents and supporters, for believing in what we do at AIM. And thank you to our students, most of all, who inspire us every single day to be more than just our job titles. Together, we're not just building a program, we're building a future full of possibility. Thank you. And I'd like to now introduce Ashley Bailey, our instructional coach, will come and share.
Thank you. It's a privilege to stand before you today and speak about something that's not only professionally fulfilling, but deeply personal to me, the AIM program, and our unique approach to teaching and learning. As a proud graduate of Barrow County Schools, this community is my home. It's shaped who I am, and it's where my heart is. That's why AIM is more than just a program to me. It's a passion. It's a way to give back to the place that gave so much to me and help grow the next generation of innovative, creative, and empowered learners right here in our own backyard. At AIM, we believe that learning should be meaningful, engaging, and connected to the real world. We begin with the state and district curriculum maps and expectations, but we don't stop there. Our teachers take those frameworks and bring them to life through hands-on learning, project-based instruction, arts integration, and immersive experiences that make education come alive. What makes AIM truly unique is that our teachers don't just teach, they inspire. Each one leads a mini academy, a course aligned with their personal passions and pathway studies at BASA. These academies allow students to experiment and explore new interests and deepen their understanding in ways that traditional classrooms sometimes can't provide. And while each teacher is essentially a one-person curriculum department for their grade level, they are never isolated. Once a week, we gather in the PL Center for our professional learning communities, or PLCs. But at AIM, PLCs are more than a meeting. Collaboration is not a buzzword, it's our culture. Our PLCs are interdisciplinary, flexible, and focused on creating rich, connected learning experiences that help students see how subjects intertwine with the real world through various techniques. These weekly planning sessions often are not confined to that one day per week. Teachers are constantly working together to refine instructional strategies and collaborate. Interdisciplinary instruction is part of the AIM culture. Interdisciplinary instruction occurs by integrating multiple content areas into a cohesive lesson. We do not live departmentalized lives. Our daily interactions with the world involve reading, math, science, history, and the arts, working together to help us navigate and understand the world around us. AIM teachers may integrate multiple disciplines into a lesson within their classroom, or they may combine with other teachers in a larger space to teach together. By co-teaching together, the teachers combine their expertise of their respective contents and demonstrate the relationship to each other and the real world. For example, you might walk into a 6th grade social studies class and see students dancing across Europe, literally. They use movement and choreography to represent different landforms. Then their classmates interpret the performance, identifying the geographic features and regions being showcased. It's fun, it's active, and most importantly, it sticks. Another example from this year was a sculpture project. Students had to calculate surface area, conduct historical research, read and write analytical essays, and explore the impact of English colonization on Aboriginal communities in Australia, all in one assignment. It's this kind of interdisciplinary learning that helps students make meaningful connections and think critically. We had our 8th grade math and science teachers co-teach a lesson where students learned about chemical reactions by making bouncy balls. Then they graphed the speed, distance, and time calculations. Our teachers have gotten very good at recognizing and capitalizing on the opportunities for interdisciplinary lessons. This spirit of innovation and teamwork has fueled our growth and success. AIM began in 2018 with just 2 5th grade and 2 6th grade classes. That's 4 teachers, 3 who still work at CFIT today. In 2019, we expanded to 4 6th grade classes and 2 7th grade classrooms. And by 2020, we had 4 6th grade, 4 7th grade, and our first 8th grade class at VASA. Now, with the 6th through 8th all under one roof, we are stronger than ever. What started with about 100 students and 4 teachers has grown into a vibrant community of 292 students with nearly 300 more on our waiting list and 19 staff members. That growth speaks volumes, not just about the success of our program, about the need for it. AIM is important to this community because it reflects the values we hold dear: creativity, collaboration, and a commitment to excellence. It's a place where students are seen, heard, and challenged to think differently. It's a place where teachers are empowered to teach with passion and purpose. As someone who grew up in this community, I'm incredibly proud to be part of something that is shaping its future. AIM is more than a school. It's a movement, and I'm honored to help lead it forward. Thank you for supporting our vision, our students, and our shared commitment to innovation and education. At AIM, we're not just teaching content, we're creating experiences that inspire curiosity, deepen understanding, and prepare students to think critically and creatively about the world around them. Next, Ms. Wood, our 6th grade science and dance and choreography teacher, will discuss the importance of experiential learning. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity to share the incredible impact of the AIM program and how it continues to shape the lives of our students in meaningful and lasting ways. At AIM, we believe that learning extends far beyond the classroom walls. Throughout the 2024-25 school year, our students engaged in a wide range of experiential learning opportunities designed to inspire curiosity, build real-world connections, and spark future aspirations. One of the most powerful aspects of the AIM program is the way it brings the world to our students and our students to the world. This year, we were honored to welcome an impressive lineup of guest speakers who shared their insights and experiences with our students. These include State Representative Houston Gaines, who discussed state policies and government, former Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan, who spoke about the various branches of government, our very own Dr. LaDuff, who spoke to our 8th graders about local and municipal government, Judge Power Evans, who discussed the legal system and juvenile justice with our students, Nick Gozin, a manager in visual content and production for the Gwinnett Chamber of Commerce, who spoke to students about careers in digital arts. Mr. Gozin shared experiences and discussed his prior work with the Atlanta Braves, the Hawks, the Falcons, and Atlanta United. Lee Kane spoke to our 8th grade students about investing as they began to prepare for their stock market project. And finally, we had NBC News and Today show host Craig Melvin, who attended a Zoom meeting with all of our AIM students. Mr. Melvin discussed his career path and answered questions that were pulled from our students. One thing we all agreed on was a favorite quote by Mr. Melvin. He said, "A well-constructed sentence, a well-constructed paragraph, a well-constructed story is a piece of art." Their stories and wisdom offered our students a window into diverse careers, leadership paths, and the importance of civic engagement. Our annual Career Day was another highlight, bringing together parents and professionals from a wide range of fields. Students had the chance to explore different career paths and hear firsthand about the journeys behind them, an invaluable experience that helps them envision their own futures. In addition to these events, our 12 mini academies provide students with the opportunity to dive deeply into areas of personal interest and passion. These academies, which include our visual arts, 3D art, digital art, kinesthetic expressions, journalism, oratorical arts, dance and choreography, culinary arts, creative writing, and agricultural science, theater, and last but not least, engineering and design. These mini academies allow students to explore and develop their talents in a supportive, hands-on environment. Whether they're designing a robot, choreographing a dance, or writing and hosting our daily AIM news, students are empowered to express themselves and build skills that will serve them for a lifetime. Perhaps the most anticipated event of the year was our travel week, which was held just before our spring break. Each grade level embarked on a unique adventure. Our 6th grade students explored STEM and teamwork at Pathfinder Space Camp at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center in Huntsville, Alabama. Our 7th grade students connected with nature and explored leadership at the Wasiga 4-H Center in Dahlonega, Georgia. And our 8th graders experienced history and civic engagement in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. These trips weren't just fun, they were transformative. They helped students build confidence, deepen their understanding of the world, and form lasting memories with their peers. In addition to Travel Week, our students took part in enriching field trips to the Aurora Theater in Lawrenceville, the State Bar of Georgia's Law Center, and the Innovation Amphitheater as part of Barrow County's Cultural Connection series. These experiences broadened their appreciation for the arts, the legal system, and global cultures. Looking ahead to the 2025-26 school year, we're excited to continue this tradition of immersive experiential learning. Next year's Travel Week will feature new destinations, Chattanooga, Tennessee, and Rock Eagle 4-H Center, as well as a return to Washington, D.C., each offering fresh opportunities for exploration, growth, and discovery. These experiences are more than just memorable. They are foundational. They help us develop well-rounded, informed, and inspired students who are ready to take on the future with confidence and curiosity. Thank you for your continued support of the AIM program and for believing in the power of experiential learning. Together, we are shaping a generation of learners who are not only academically prepared, but also deeply engaged with the world around them. Up next, Mrs. Stockwell, who is our 6th grade language arts teacher and our creative writing mini academy teacher, will share our focus on writing at AIM.
I am very thankful for the opportunity to be here to share our focus on incorporating writing at AIM. As a staff, we all share the common goal of equipping our students to be effective communicators. With this goal in mind, AIM launched a school-wide writing initiative designed to build strong, confident writers across all grade levels. We have collaborated to develop a writing protocol utilizing common language, shared strategies, preferred graphic organizers, and consistent rubrics. This structured approach ensures continuity and clarity in the writing instruction from year to year. Every teacher in our building takes ownership of this focus on writing. Students are collaborating, gathering evidence, and explaining their thoughts on a daily basis. This could look like crafting an artist statement to explain a painting in math class, supporting a claim in science, or analyzing a region in social studies. To further support this initiative, our ELA teachers led professional learning sessions for all staff on the Notice and Note close reading strategies, equipping every educator with tools to deepen our students' engagement with both fiction and nonfiction text. These strategies were also shared with families during a parent engagement event, fostering a homeschool connection around literacy. Creative writing has a place at AIM as well. Inspired after attending a writing workshop at the University of Georgia, we launched our Writing Wednesdays, a weekly school-wide event where everyone, from students to staff, pauses to write and share that writing. With guidance from ELA teachers, our entire building embraces this creative moment every week as we build a community of writers. During the hectic weeks leading up to Thanksgiving and winter breaks, Mr. Holman employs a unique method of keeping our students engaged and excited about their academics. For example, each December, elf cutouts, complete with writing prompts, are hidden all around the school building in classroom and mini academy spaces. Students rush in each day to locate the hidden elves and take part in the writing challenge. Imagine the energy as 6th, 7th, and even 8th graders all eagerly enter their homerooms every morning in hopes of being able to write and share those writings with their principal in exchange for a small treat. This is just one of the many ways writing is incorporated into the fabric of AIM. Literacy is a consistent part of our school culture as we celebrate reading, writing, and public speaking. From regular visits to the public library to trips to the book vending machine, I love that vending machine, to elf hunts, a focus on literacy is an exciting and positive part of the school day for all of our students. Through collaboration, professional growth, and a shared commitment to literacy, AIM is cultivating a vibrant culture of writing that empowers each and every student to find their own voice. Thanks.
All right, I'm going to deviate from the script, and they're going to get mad at me, but they get mad at me a lot of times. So who knows what kinesthetic expressions is? That's one of our mini academies. Anybody have an idea? Kelly's going to get mad at me, too. She's in the audience. She's also one of our staff members. Anybody have an idea? That's our version of PE, kinesthetic expressions, except for in kinesthetic expressions, the students have to plan and teach other students their own game. So just piggybacking off the writing, I got a text one day. They were in kinesthetic expressions, 6th grade was, and it said, so-and-so, whichever student, has created this game, and part of the game is anytime the student, somebody says, Mr. Holman's coming, they have to all stop where they are and pretend like they're writing. That's how ingrained it is into what they're doing. They know that's the expectation. So I actually walked down there, and when I walked through the doors, they said, Mr. Holman's coming, and they're like froze, and then they're pretending like they're writing. So that was actually part of the game in PE. So, all right, I'm going to go back on script now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, so as we close our presentation, I want to take a moment to point out a couple things that happened last week that reinforced the commitment of AIM's vision, our community and our culture. Last week, we had approximately half of our new students attend a summer camp. This gave them a few days to get to know the 6th grade teachers and to be introduced to some of our unique instructional strategies. It also gave them a chance to get in the building, to see what a black box is, to see what the dance studio looks like. We also installed our latest piece of art, and if you look at the screen, you can see it. This was a collaborative piece that included most of the AIM students across all 3 grade levels. The project was led by Ms. Payne. Each tile was painted by a different student, and when pieced together, forms an installation that reflects the vibrance and culture of the AIM program. The AIM program prides itself on focusing on possibilities. We thank you for your time this evening and for your continued support of the program. Does anyone have any questions?
I just have one comment, Mr. Holman and the team. I want to thank you for celebrating the individuality of the students that you have in your care and inspiring curiosity, especially for a parent that has 11 children. I appreciate that.
I have 8, so it's, I understand. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
And I wanted to add, I think it really speaks to the value of what you're providing in our community with the size of your waiting list for the school.
Yes, ma'am. We disappoint a lot more people than we make happy on lottery day. Yes, ma'am. But we're going to try and work on that.
I have a question. Just out of curiosity, it's such a unique way of learning. Do these children have any challenges moving to a traditional high school after being in such a unique environment?
That's a great question. And Mr. Thrillkill, he knows that about 95% of our students go to BASA when they leave here. And so we work with BASA, with the band teacher, with the chorus teacher. Next year we have the Ms. Pattisall, but what's her title? She's the theater teacher. She's going to do our theater tech program. So they get to know some of those teachers as well. We take some trips over there. Ms. Mitchell, she'll take the chorus students to BASA to practice with the BASA students. And so most of our students end up at BASA. We are the feeder program for BASA. So if we can grow, they can grow.
Kim Hodge, one of our high school baseball star, was an AIM student.
Well, there you go. He's one of the 5% who didn't go to BASA. Any other questions?
Team, I just want to thank you guys for sharing with us tonight. Fitting that you all are presenting tonight. You'll notice on our consent agenda, I know you guys will join me in thanking the Board of Education for approving the renovation that's going to take place at CFIT this summer, which will allow some more transformed spaces, as well as us to install a security vestibule, bringing CFIT in line with the rest of our facilities and securing our students further. So
we are very
thank you to everyone.
Yes, we're very appreciative of that. Right now, we're working off hotspots, but we still have internet. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Holman. Great work. And now we'll move on to presentations and discussions with Dr. Bowen.
Good evening, board members, Dr. LaDuff. I have two informational items tonight. The first is an update on School Dog, our safety and facilities app that we piloted at 4 sites at the end of this past school year. We had a total of 757 entries, with 565 being praises. That's roughly 75%, that affirmed the great work of our school staff, while also identifying some areas to continue to prioritize through training and diligent supervision. For the 25-26 school year, we would like to expand the School Dog pilot to include all school sites in the district. The company School Dog has generously offered to continue our pilot and provide those services to Barrow County schools for one more year at no cost. We're excited to bring that as an informational item to you tonight. Is there any questions about School Dog?
Dr. Bowden, I think we'd mentioned it before, and I'm not sure with Chief Skinner, the schedule looking at reports from School Dog. So we'll get those at some point once you work out what that schedule looks like, right?
Correct.
Okay.
That's exactly right. The pilot, we were really learning how to use the app, and it's vast array of different categories to make sure we knew how we were using it before we started reading too much into reports. We think that'll be expanded next year, and we're going to bring all the SROs aboard to be trained. They are the primary ones who do the entries, or SROs, but also school admin. So yeah, we hope to develop a lot of different reports for that next year. We're also still in training in how to use those reports accurately.
Okay,
Thank you.
After this spring year, how much is it going to cost us?
The current rate they're charging districts is $3 per FTE. We don't know what that'll be a year from now, or if they'll charge us. Honestly, they like having us as a customer.
Okay.
We'll continue to use that as long as they'll let us. And when it comes time to actually contract with them for paid services, we'll discuss that at that time. But they're excited to have us representing their company.
Thank you.
The second informational item is about the school resource officer agreement between the Barrow County Board of Commissioners and Barrow County Schools. One of the many things we have learned after the tragedy at Appalachia High School is the essential role the school resource officers serve regarding daily school safety for our community. It became clear to us from both public input and reflecting on the events from September that SROs in each of our schools is a necessity. I want to recognize this board and commend you for acknowledging the importance of SROs in committing resources following September 4th, when you approved an additional 8 SRO positions to further enhance our safety plan. Now, we were recently informed of Barrow County's Board of Commissioners' decision to reduce and potentially eliminate their portion of the funding for the SRO program. In the past, we have enjoyed a collaborative, mutually beneficial relationship with our Barrow County partners. So this development came as a surprise as we were in the final days of completing and asking for the school board's approval for the 25-26 school budget. The county's proposal calls for defunding 4 current SRO positions and for declining to fund any of the future 8 SROs that this Board of Education has already approved. The new county proposal also calls for the school system to fund all direct and indirect SRO expenses for 4 of the current SROs and the 8 future SROs. Just a few of these expenses include vehicles and the maintenance and fuel costs related to vehicles, uniforms, ammunition, education and training, general supplies, dues and fees, along with other materials and equipment. We've attached some documents to our e-board site outlining these proposed expenses and also documents explaining the county's decision along with our response. I want to state here tonight, though, that we are still fully committed to making our schools as safe as possible. And that includes having school resource officers assigned to all school sites in Barrow County. I want to thank the leaders, Sheriff Judge Smith, Lieutenant Tim Lateral, Sergeant Brett Maxwell, Sergeant Chase Boyd, and all of the school resource officers for their commitment to citizens, families, students, and school staff of Barrow County. We appreciate your service. And finally, as the Executive Cabinet member in charge of school safety, I want to thank this Board of Education for their unwavering support and for consistently looking to add safety layers this year and moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bowen.
Madam Chair, I would like to make a statement.
Yes, ma'am.
Since joining the Board of Education in early 2023, I have been incredibly proud of the cooperative partnership between this Board of Education and the Board of Commissioners. I've often publicly and privately thanked Sheriff Smith and those commissioners who have supported this partnership. I am disappointed, however, with the Board of Commissioners' recent stance to no longer honor the previously agreed upon arrangement to financially share the cost of SROs. Especially in light of September 4th, I am deeply concerned with the Board of Commissioners' underlying notion that 2,000+ Barrow County school system employees and over 15,000 Barrow County students are no longer included in their definition of public safety. Perhaps we need to ask the county commissioners who qualifies under their definition of public safety.
Thank you.
Dr. Bowen, I do have a couple of questions, if that's all right.
Yes, ma'am.
Just trying to understand a historical perspective. How many SROs were funded by the county commissioners in the last fiscal year?
It was a split funding for 16 positions.
Okay.
Those are 16 positions that work in Barrow County schools.
All right. And so now, according to the communication that we've received with the IGA from 2017, as I understand, it's only honoring the 12.
Yes, ma'am. In 2017, this agreement reflected the number of SROs that were working at that time, which was 12. We've increased that number through the years while also maintaining the same spirit of the 50-50 split. At this time, though, we've been told by the attached letter that we'd like to go back to the literal reading of the agreement from 2017, which does specify 12 positions being split funded.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Bowen, real quick, are there any further plans that you're aware of for the county commissioners to continue to defund the SRO program more than they are this year?
Well, the reference in the letter is that they would desire a modified IGA, which we could speculate that would mean a shift in the funding that currently exists, but I would be speculating on that.
And do we follow up to that? Do we also know if the county sent a similar communication letter to Bethlehem Christian Academy to defund their SRO as well?
I've not spoke directly with them today, but the word I've received today is they had not sent a similar letter to BCA.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Bowen, so you had mentioned, and I believe this was also in the letter, so one of the change, the expectation was a change in direct and indirect cost.
Yes, ma'am.
And so I just need some help understanding that, really a clarifying question. So I think you'd mentioned vehicles, equipment, and other items that obviously all officers utilize, not just our SROs. So how would that, if we were to purchase those, through our procurement, and I'm guessing that would be the process if so decided, what would be the legal and liability ownership and ramifications if those vehicles or if those officers were in an off-site accident as such? Because we understand we have them here for 8 hours, but for that other time period and for the 2 months that we currently have with the IGA that in the summer that they are not here. So what are the legal and liability ramifications?
It's a great question, and one of many questions that we have based on the information in this letter. I'm afraid I don't have answers to those today, as we have not specifically discussed any of those details with the Board of Commissioners or their representatives. But those are excellent questions, and I would say even concerns that we would have.
And just kind of to tag along with that, and so if that were to happen, then we're looking at, just like equipment that, matter of fact, the last meeting we had regarding property that we have, depreciation, et cetera, who tracks that? I mean, how would we be able to track that if that was the property that we had procured? How does that work?
I'm not really sure how that would work in this situation. I think that's something else that would have to be, details that have to be worked out. But again, I think we could classify that as, those as concerns as well.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions?
I'm asking as a parent, you know, I've been here, I'm out of time.
Excuse me, sir. You'll have to let us conduct the meeting, and we're happy to hear from you when you sign up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Were there any other questions? I would just like to add that as a governing body, we want to make it very clear that we are fully committed to maintaining our SRO program and ensuring the safety of our students, staff, and our teachers. The recent communication from the county has been unfortunate, and it has caused some unnecessary concern and uncertainty within our community. A more productive approach would have been for us to have a discussion related to the SRO salaries, benefits, and associated expenses, rather than creating doubt about the program's future. Thank you. At this time, we'll move on to Business Services. Ms. Houston.
All right, right now we're going to go over our monthly reports. So our first one is the local option sales tax for school systems. We received $1,807,487 for the month of May. And you can see on the graph how that all works out for the past 5 years. And moving on to our general fund, our board summary for the month of May 31st, the cash balance or our fund balance was $95.3 million. The total revenues year-to-date were $199.2 million. Our total expenditures year-to-date were $188 million. Our total revenues for the month of May were $12.1, and our total expenditures for the month of May, $16.8. And then we have our detail following that for the general fund. Then moving on to special revenue fund. Our year-to-date revenues, $21.9 million or $22 million, and our expenditures, $24.1 million. And this is for the year-to-date April 2025. For our capital projects fund, $67.6 million we received because we sold those bonds. So it's a little higher than normal years. And then $35.4 in expenditures. For debt service, $13.5 million in revenue and $11.9 million in expenditures. And then we have our invoices between $10,000 and $75,000. And if you have any questions. All right. Thank you.
Ms. Houston, my apologies, Madam Chair. I just had one question that I think might be for you, and I need your help on regarding the presentation that Dr. Bowen did. Could you, I just kind of want to go back to something that was in the county letter, and so I need your help with that. Can you explain for us what the senior tax exemption is for the school, and what % of the tax digest do those exemptions cover?
Sure. So you can be 62 to 69 years old, and your income is limited to $60,000, plus Social Security and retirement income of around $96,000. That changes from year to year.
Okay.
So if you meet those requirements and you're 62 to 69, then you get a exemption of $140,000, which covers a $350,000 home because it's a 40% value.
Right, right.
Then once you're 70, your income has to be below $113,000 earned income and under that $96,000 for Social Security and retirement income. And you get a full exemption for 1 house and 5 acres. We have 10,024 exemptions out of 91,631 residential partials. And then the value is of those homes. Now, not everybody is fully exempt, so I don't really have that number. But the value of the homes that are exempt are $497,000 out of a $4.8 billion gross tax digest.
Okay.
So real property that's on the digest.
Okay, so roughly 10,000 out of 91,000, did I get that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so, I preface that question because one of the statements, and I'll probably need to get clarity on this, is understanding that the Barrow County Board of Commissioners is responsible, just as we are, for ensuring that any and all school-related expenses are exempt from the county general fund M&O levy. And so will we be able, just like how we have our numbers, are we able to find out how many of, families or individuals in the county meet that, just as we have our numbers? Can we find that out?
We can, yes.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I would appreciate that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
We'll move on now to 3 action items. We'll begin with the fiscal year 2026 tentative general fund budget.
All right, Ms. Megan, if you can open up that attachment and go to page, I think it's 24. We are so proud of this budget. We really worked on this budget, and we were able to bring you a budget that's only $3 million increase from the prior year, which is very good for us. I know that normally there's some state increases in there for salaries and stuff, and we didn't have that this year, but we still had those state mandated increases of health insurance and TRS. We were able to put a salary study in this budget to help make sure that we're paying everybody fair and equitable across the district. The right sizing of staffing allotments, we only had additional 6.5 instructional positions rather than 20, 30 like we have every year. Step increases for all of our employees. We were able to include that. That was a $2.4 million increase, and our budget only increased $3 million. We are very, very excited to bring this to you. There were some additional SROs in there. Our enhanced mass communication platform. We added a psychologist, some mapping software, just a generalized mapping software, and radio replacements for safety and security. And then we are also able to do a 3% match for our PSERS employees. And then we didn't want to increase the millage rate, so we left the millage rate at 15.5, the same as it was last year. And so I'm presenting to you a budget of $224 million. And the revenue is $213, so we will be using some of our fund balance, $10.6 million. And then after our assigned fund balance, which is for future facilities, future security enhancements, and literacy materials. We're assigning $16 million of that, and so our unassigned fund balance at the end of 2026 should be about $56 million. And so I'm asking you to approve that budget tonight.
Thank you, Ms. Houston. We're proud of the budget and the work that you've done as well on this year's budget, especially with the increased cost with TRS and healthcare and safety improvement, step increases, and the salary study, among other critical needs. As a board, we have developed our core beliefs for our school system, and one of those beliefs is to provide our staff with competitive salaries and benefits. And one of the ways that we intend to accomplish this is with our salary study this fall and implement these adjustments over the next few years. We recognize that this past year has been extremely difficult and challenging, and we appreciate the work, greatly appreciate the work of our teachers and staff. And with that being said, and considering the salary study to take place very soon, I'd like us to consider a one-time bonus of $1,000 for all staff members for this year. Could you give us that number of what that would cost us?
Yes, ma'am, I can. That is great. A $1,000 bonus, a one-time bonus, would cost the district $2,289,400.
Could we pull this expense from our fund balance?
Since it's a one-time expense and it's not a reoccurring cost, I would recommend that. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Well, with that being said, I'd like the board to consider adding this expense to our FY26 budget.
I'd like to make a motion to add a $1,000 bonus.
Madam Chair, I recuse myself from this vote as I have family members that work in the system.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Callaway.
Madam Chair, I would like to recuse myself as well.
And same for me as well.
All right. Do we have a second?
A second.
Dr. Carey, second. All in favor of adding this expense to our budget? All right. Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Madam Chair,
Sorry.
you first, Sherry, you got it.
So, Ms. Houston, can you explain to us, after we heard the long discussion earlier about the SRO, can you explain to us that potential impact of that expense as well, and what that would look like to this budget?
Sure. So if the county moves forward with what they proposed, it's a $1.9 million, $1,932,000 ask from us. We budgeted $1,142,000 in our 2026 budget. So you can see that there's a difference of $867,000 there. I am including the bonuses for our SRO officers. I believe that was something that the board really wanted to do, so that is included in that number. And so we would have to do a budget amendment because we really want to get this budget in. We would do a budget amendment, and I would make that clear in all of our presentations on the budget hearings. I would make sure that everybody knew that this is our budget, but if the county moves forward with this additional cost, that we would plan on doing a budget amendment for $867,000. And we can take it out of fund balance. Again, it's a reoccurring cost, so that would not be my recommendation because we're going to have to cover it every year. And so we would consider maybe increasing the millage rate.
And how much would that increase be?
It would be a 1.195 mils. So we kind of talked about that we liked it at 15.5 mils. We haven't discussed that. You haven't made a decision yet, but so this would be added to that to go up to 15.695 mils for property taxes.
And since we're talking budget, the county commissioners receive 2.5% of our tax revenue from property tax received every year. which amounts to approximately $1.8 million. Could we start conversations around that with CFOs or with staff to see if we could get some of that revenue back to us, since it made sense when they were contributing at 50%, but now if they're trying to pull out and defund the SRO program on their end, that 2.5% would help levy that $867,000, which would not require us to increase a millage rate and cause further taxation on our citizens.
That is an excellent point, and yes, the state law says that the county can charge up to 2.5%. That is the max, and that's where we're at. There are other districts who do pay less than we do, so we can definitely start maybe talking about and negotiating that amount.
Madam Chair, I would like to ask a question real quick. Ms. Houston, will you please remind us all how much is recommended by the state of Georgia for a fund balance, and also what is a comfortable fund balance and what that looks like for us?
All right, so the state recommends a no less than 2 months, not 2 months, but no less than 2 months. And that would look like $36.8 million for Barrow County on this budget right here. I'd have to make a little bit of an adjustment because we're adding that $1,000 bonus. We're comfortable as a board at 3 months, and so that's at $56 million. And that's really where we're looking at.
Thank you so much for clarifying.
Thank you. All right, if you're ready to move on to the other funds budget, that is on page 28, Ms. Megan. All right, so this is our other funds budget. This is our special revenue funds, our capital projects funds, and our debt service funds. We're asking for a $26.6 million budget for special revenue, $51.4 for capital projects, and about $13 million for our debt service. A total of $91,036,000. And we have sufficient fund balance. That's just the way capital projects works, is we got those bonds this year, so we just need to spend that money over the next few years. So I need a motion to approve.
A motion to approve.
Mr. Callaway?
Second.
Second, Ms. Hendricks. All in favor?
All right, now let's move on to the millage rate, and this will be on page 38. Might be 37. It's the second to the last page. There we go. So now it's time for you guys to look at the millage rate and to decide on what you're comfortable with. Just to remind you, the budget was based on a 15.5 mils.
Mm-hmm. And Ms. Houston, just remind me, if we do need to make changes, we're going to do an addendum, correct?
That would be correct for the budget. For the millage rate, we have to do specific advertising for the amount of millage rate that we have to do. So if we advertise 15.5 and we end up going above that, we would probably have to redo the whole process again and have the 3 hearings. So I would suggest, if that is something that you're considering, to go ahead and add that. During all my public hearings, I will let everybody know that we want to aim at 15.5. However, if the county moves forward with this, we will have to go to the 15.695 rate. And we'll just see what happens. And then, so we would advertise 15.695, if that's the will of the board.
Okay, so you're saying if we do a higher rate and then things change down the road based on the county, can we go back down to 15.5 without redoing the hearings?
Yes, we can go lower, we can't go higher.
Okay.
Or we shouldn't go higher, we would have to redo everything.
Okay.
Madam Chair, as this is a ongoing annual expense, I think we need to add it to our millage and just plan, especially after the letter that was given to us from the commission. So I'd make a motion to set our millage rate at 15.695 mils, dependent upon the commission's decision at their next budget meeting.
And I second that motion as a prudent measure.
All in favor?
Thank you.
2 nays? We have.
Yeah.
Anyone opposed? 2 opposed. All right.
Thank you.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Sorry, Ms. Houston, quick question. For our senior-based exemptions that the previous board put on the table and then was voted in, all that is exempting the seniors from the school taxes. The county didn't do anything necessarily to exempt them from their taxes, correct?
Correct, this is just the school tax,
Okay, so-
absolutely. Yes, sir,
okay.
thank you.
Okay, I think we voted on the tentative budget and the millage, but we need to go back to our general fund. Is that correct? So we need a motion to approve the general fund to include the added teacher, staff, all staff bonuses. Do I have a motion?
Yeah. Motion to approve the tentative general fund with the added bonus.
I have a motion by Dr. Carey and a second by Ms. Lord. All in favor? All right, motion carries. All right, I don't think we have any requests to appear tonight. At this time, we'll go into executive session to discuss or deliberate upon the appointment, employment, compensation, hiring, disciplinary action, or dismissal, or periodic evaluation or rating of a public officer or employee, or to interview applicants for the position of superintendent. Motion?
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Thank you.
Volunteered for reading, and you suggested the mentoring program. Well, when I was working, I was mentored at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and I appreciated it very much. And then I became a mentor eventually there. And so when you approached about the program here in the county, I thought that's perfect. I don't know if I'm a typical mentor. I love children. I think that's the basic requirement, is that you care about them and you're sincere in caring about them. And if you do that, that's really all they need. They will be like little flowers to the sun. I take a little craft of some kind, not expensive, and we start with that, and then that just gives us a chance to just kind of talk while we're busy with our fingers doing things. I also take a little snack. I hope that's okay. You know, a little pack of crackers or cookies, and he's always happy about that. If you're thinking about mentoring, the best thing I can tell you is you get back so much more than you ever give. It's just heartwarming, and I walk out of the school every week with a big smile on my face because to be with such a sweet young man.
I think mentoring is a lot simpler than what people think it is. I think it sounds scary, it sounds overwhelming, it sounds like a huge commitment. And while it is a commitment, it is not, it's simple. It's a simple process of just caring for someone and listening, really. Again, we're always looking for mentors in Barrow County. If you work from home and have 30 minutes a week to spare, if you are retired, if you're a parent and you have 30 minutes to spare, we'd love to have you join our mentoring program and spend time with a student.
I think that there are a lot of children of all ages who would benefit from knowing that someone cares enough to be with them on a regular basis.
This is where traditions begin and legacies are built.
At Barrow Arts and Sciences Academy, we're sparking innovations of tomorrow by empowering our students today. Our academic course offerings are rigorous to prepare students for life beyond high school. And we offer a variety of art programs that encourage students to express themselves no matter the medium. We are a non-traditional school where students will discover their passion, prepare for their future, and explore the intersection where the arts and sciences complement one another. This is BASA, and we are the Blazers.
Hi, I am Lynn Tillman. You can refer to me as the Tillmanator. That's what I've been being called since 1989 when the Terminator movies were popular. And I teach music at County Line Elementary School. And this is my room. I have all kinds of things that I have acquired through the fundraising website called Donors Choose. Got some congas and bongos. And I have this sweet, totally sweet 1970s vintage set of wood blocks. Love those. I have some African djembes. I got some basses. We got a big doghouse bass. That's awesome too. We have, I really don't know what they're called, but I call them flapophones. We got bells. We got tubano drums. I got a xylophone. These are mine personally. Nobody gets to touch those except me. And I got a drum set, which we are rocking on all the time. I first realized that I could potentially be good as a teacher back when I was in middle school. And I played the flute in Gwinnett County, Sweetwater Middle School. And my band director realized that I'd already known my parts, and he asked me to help some of the people, not only in my section, but in other sections, to learn their parts better. So we'd go back in the practice room. I was teaching them their parts, and I've always had a way of being able to break it down to its absolute simplest forms that you don't even have to understand music to get what it is, and to teach on a need-to-know basis. This is all you need to know to be able to play this. Kind of like earlier when I was doing the basses, and I said, all you got to do is press the yellow dot. They don't have to know that that's an E. They don't have to know that it's an E chord. All they have to know is right now, press the yellow dot. When you see my foot step on yellow, you press yellow. The simplest form to get them to have success as quickly as possible. And it was back in middle school that I first realized that I had that in me and that I could get people to learn with down to the simplest thing.
Teachers do amazing things. Work. Yeah. Teach fun activities.
I want them to know that teachers, we're not perfect. We can come in and we think, I've got a plan, I'm doing good, I am going to teach. And then you come in here and you totally blow it. And sometimes you just blow it and the kids laugh at you and then we move on and you fix it. And now I'm going to fix it. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I was doing the...
My name's Hannah Hollingsworth, and I'm a senior at Appalachia High School. In my childhood, I grew up with a single mom and an older brother, so I was roughhousing around, just trying to make it day by day. I was very independent as a kid, which honestly led me up to me being like as strong-willed and independent as I am today. I definitely want to thank my mom for teaching me all the life lessons that she taught me. of being like on my own and really how to thrive in an unknown environment. And I just really want to thank my mom for teaching me those lessons. So softball and basketball really is just more than sports to me. Like, they were my whole life. I've played sports since I was 6 and 7. And when you face adversity in sports, you're obviously in a game, you can't stop, and that led into like academics and life as well. Like when there's a hard time or like you're struggling on a test, you can't just stop. You just have to keep going. And sports have really taught me that no matter what the outcome is, everything's gonna be okay. No matter if you win, lose, fail, pass, if something goes good or bad, like it's always gonna work out how it's supposed to be. Mr. Bazzotti, he was my freshman history teacher and my sophomore history teacher. He definitely had the biggest impact on me because he cared about me on such like more than academic level. He wanted me to thrive in my sports. He always listened to me when I was having a rough day, and he really did help me thrive in my academics. He constantly pushed me to do my best, constantly reassured me that what my grades were good enough, and he just was always an ear to listen, and he was just a really good resource and a good mentor, honestly. I would say right now I'm most proud of being top 10 in my class. That was definitely something I never thought would happen. I play 2 sports. I have 2 jobs. I am constantly working or constantly playing sports. So, and trying to keep academics with all honors and AP classes is a really hard struggle.
Do I have a motion to approve the superintendent's personnel report?
So moved.
Second? Ms. Maddox, what's your vote? All right. All in favor? All right.
All right, are we going out there? All right. Dude, she's so excited to be